Such a delight because right now we are blessed Thanksgiving week with Ninja's Kitchen.
Yay!
Ninja got into sourdough. Is that what it is? Sourdough?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
She had a sourdough starter. Yep.
So, and this thing's been growing. She's been making all the things. I think it's a sourdough thing, right?
No,
Not
this
this
just
one.
in.
Yeah, I didn't use it for this one.
Oh, okay.
But she has made a sourdough. Everything up until this point has been made with her sourdough starter.
Very good. So what do we have today in Ninja's Kitchen?
This is a gingerbread cookie, but it's a soft gingerbread cookie. So like Little Debbie's Gingerbread Man, that's where the idea came from.
Okay.
Oh, wow. And you can smell. As soon as Ninja handed me this cookie, I felt this wave of gingerbread and warmth and coziness. I'm looking for my slippers.
And the perfect gingerbread man.
Yeah, well, she didn't cut them into gingerbread men. They're like crinkle cookies almost.
Look at those cracks.
Those are
It's perfect.
Perfect and round and gingerbread-like.
Okay, let's taste. It's soft.
Huh?
So it's almost like she rolled them in a ball and then dipped them in sugar. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, the Food Network needs to hire me. Thank you.
Because of all that. So what's for Thanksgiving, Ninja? Says it sounds like you're making a lot now.
She's still chewing.
She's chewing.
I guess I should, huh?
Yeah, what are you making for Thanksgiving?
Just bread.
Oh, well, what kind of bread? Because I heard you had orders.
Two sourdough breads. My grandma wanted an apple pie. My mom wanted cinnamon rolls.
So she's making all the things. If there's a carb in it, Ninja made it.
She's the carb central now with the sour bread.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, this is good.
Yep, Ninja's Kitchen. Can't wait for the next edition of Ninja's Kitchen here with Rob and Lizz in the morning.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
A couple of turkeys got pardoned. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. And I mean the real turkeys. You know, the whole presidential thing that happens every year. But Liz has a few thoughts about this.
Yeah, so they're called Liberty and Bell, and they're 42 pounds a piece.
So what's wrong with this? It's literally, Liz is just like, come on.
Okay, don't take me wrong. I love animals, but I need to feed people. And so I was looking for a turkey to feed the 30 people that are going to be at the in-laws' house. And the biggest turkey we could find was 0.34, so almost 24 pounds. And I couldn't find, so I figured I need to buy like a little teeny tiny turkey to go along with that. So there's 42-pound turkeys out there?
Well, these two were.
Why
Liberty
did,
and Bell, the two that were pardoned at the White House, 42 pounds of turkey.
again, I'm glad they were pardoned. But at the same time, how come they weren't at my Harris Teeter? I'm
You want to
sorry.
know why they're not in the grocery store?
I'm sorry. They put them
Liz.
up in a hotel.
They're allowed to be pardoned.
They're allowed to be pardoned, but I need to know where they're growing these 42-pound turkeys.
Listen, they were pardoned in style. I mean, Liz just mentioned they were put up in a swanky hotel.
in a very nice hotel. I'm like, did they get facials? Like, did somebody rub their little turkey feet?
Well, it was a luxurious hotel. I mean, Scott will tell you that.
It was. It's one of the big, fancy shindig hotels they have. And my thought is, turkeys are not the most intelligent animal, and I don't really think they quite knew their surroundings. I just can't imagine these turkeys fully enjoying a hotel room like that the way you and I would.
It was the Willard Intercontinental, so that's a hotel.
Pricey hotel.
Wow,
Yeah,
luxurious. I mean, yeah.
What kind of sound does a turkey make? Does it gobble gobble? Is that
Gobble, you know that.
well? Because I can't make like they go into the hotel and just their reaction is like gobble.
Wonder if they ordered room service.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
The whole thing about turkeys, it's really getting Liz, I don't know, a little flustered this morning. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. So it was, what are the two turkeys that were just pardoned, Scott?
Liberty and Bell.
Now
That was
here's the thing.
their name.
42 pounds each, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Liz is like, wait a minute. There are turkeys that are 42 pounds?
I had no idea. We have a lot of people to feed for Thanksgiving, and we had to go with like one that was almost 24 pounds. And, I'm over in the corner like sweating it out, like, oh my goodness, is that going to be enough for everybody?
So take a look at the text from John.
Oh my goodness. Okay. John said a 42-pound turkey is not going to be 42 pounds when it gets to the grocery store. So they remove all the things we don't want, which is over a quarter of the total weight. Those turkeys would be in the mid 20-pound range once they're prepared. So I get it to a certain degree. The feathers come off. There's other things, okay, that aren't there. But they take parts and put it inside the turkey so you can make like giblet gravy and things like that.
Okay.
So wouldn't you still have the same, or is that not part of the total weight?
Well, there's other things inside a live turkey.
True.
Yeah.
But aren't they still in there?
What do you mean, aren't they still in there?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but I know
Would
there's.
they make the turkey?
But listen, there's 2 bags. One bag has a neck. The other bag has the stuff that you make the gravy with, right?
Okay.
Okay, so once you take that out, are they including that in the weight of my 24-pound turkey?
He's so overthinking this.
I am, because I'm like, I didn't need a 42-pound turkey, but I certainly needed one bigger than 24
That you get in the store, right?
that I get in the store. And so where are they growing these turkeys? These things were only 20 weeks old and they're 42 pounds. What in the world?
Uh-huh.
It's just a lot for me this Thanksgiving.
She's really overthinking this thing.
I
'Cause
am.
you
You know
wish
these
that
birds were pampered. You know they had to be like eating at the Golden Corral for poultry every day.
Right?
Stopped.
Those were some pretty big turkeys. That's for sure.
Wow.
Oh my! Oh, by the way, I don't know if you're into turkey impressions, but wait till you hear Jake do his.
Oh my. That scared me a little bit.
That was Jake.
I'm coming for you, Jake.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So there's a couple of movies that are in theaters this weekend. You got the Trolls movie. You've got Journey to Bethlehem. I think Marvel's is still there. So if you want to take your family, and this used to be a tradition when I was growing up, that my sister and I would always go to a movie Thanksgiving weekend and then on Christmas Day. But it's a little pricey to take your family to the movies. So Regal's doing something that's trying to save families money. It's a Regal family ticket. So you can either have 1 adult and 3 children, or you can have 2 adults and 2 kids. So 4 tickets in all, and it's like $42. There is a fee that goes along with it, but the fee's only like $2, so it's not too bad. It's $44 basically for 4 tickets.
Is it $2 a ticket, the fee?
No, it's the whole thing, because I wanted to see that whole breakdown. So I went in and grabbed 4 tickets, picked my seats, that kind of thing, and it was
Right.
44 total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not that bad. So you said kids. Is that like under 13?
I think it's under 12. And one good thing, they have one restriction that I really like is you can't use the ticket for any R-rated movie. It has to be G or PG.
Well, it's family ticket. So you get
Exactly.
bring your whole family to it.
Exactly.
I
So-
wish it would include teenagers.
I think that would be nice too, maybe up to 16, but no, I think it is just up to 12. And it saves, if you go at night, then it's going to save you even more money than the $42. If you go matinee, that probably saves you $2 a ticket, something like that.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Movie tickets are wicked expensive now.
That's why I wait for it to stream.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Well, we pick and choose. Like, it has to be something that our whole family wants to go see before we'll invest in that movie. Used to, when prices were a lot lower, we went all the time. Not anymore.
Well, there used to be a dollar theater too. Those things don't exist anymore.
Nope. That's
At least not close to me. There might be one. I don't know.
well,
But
I think in the summer you can get the dollar movies with like the $1 or $2 popcorn and drink, but that's in the middle of the day, and
those are movies that are 80 years old.
doesn't matter. It's still fun.
Back in the silent movie days.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So here's the thing. Liz found this whole family ticket at Regal Theater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can bring like your family, couple of kids, it's what, $45?
It's about 42, and then some fees on top of that. So yeah, but it's still a savings.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, if you take a family of 4 at, what is it, $40 a ticket anyway?
I know, just about.
Like, good night. And I started reminiscing because there was a time that there were dollar theaters, right? But
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, it was not even the movies that just came off the box office. It was always like older movies that came out.
Sometimes, yeah, it was older movies, or like they'd been in the theater for a really long time. Nobody wanted to see it there anymore. So Heather texted and said there's one kind of like that in Columbia. Says they have a $3 movie theater, which, with inflation, I get it. $3 instead of $1.
Well, that's decent enough.
Oh, that's great.
That movie, or not a whole movie, you can bring a whole family to go see a movie. I usually wait till these things stream
I
because it's
just
so
like
expensive,
I like the theater.
Well, I mean, there's that vibe, but I've got a sound bar. I've got a woofer that makes it have a big rumble, and all the action films stuff shakes on my walls. I kind of like that. It's cool. So we did get an open mic in from the My HISRadio app.
Good morning. Talking about movies, Belmont Drive-In in Belmont is open again, and it's $25 a carload, but you can't bring in any outside food. They make their money off the concession stands, but it's always a double feature, and they've got good movies. Last weekend it was Twister and Jurassic Park.
Okay, I agree. Good movies, but those are the older ones, right?
Yeah, but it's still like I love a drive-in. It is so much fun. So I might check it out.
I haven't been to this one, but I wonder if they have the swing and a little playground for the kids, because I remember that. There's a
Yes.
drive-in theater that I went to in Florida, and I do remember the playground. So you could see the movie while the kids are, playing on the playground, and you're in your car with that little speaker in the window.
Ah, the memories.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you knew this, but not only is Friday known as Black Friday this week, it's also known as Brown Friday. And it's got nothing to do with UPS.
Ooh, okay.
Nothing to do. And I'm curious through the My HISRadio app and the open mic or a text at 800-447-7234 how true this is for plumbers that brace for Brown Friday because of after Thanksgiving. Now, yeah, there's that part too. So have a plunger at hand just in case. But because more people are over at the house, that part of the area of the house is used a little bit more often. Plus, there is clogged sinks, garbage disposals, and there are sewer clogs because of the excessive use of toilet paper that some guests will use in the toilet. That's why they call it Brown Friday. Apparently, plumbers, this is a thing for plumbers, Brown Friday.
Wow, never heard of this before, but it makes a lot of sense. You have company coming in, and they don't necessarily know how much your potty can take.
Well, plus, I mean, it makes a lot of sense about the garbage disposals and clogged sinks and stuff like that because of the stuff that's going down the sink drain in the kitchen.
Yeah, you can't put turkey bones down in the disposal. You can't, you just can't get rid of a lot of things, like a lot of grease. You got to dispose of that somewhere else.
Yeah, what I understand, Scott celebrated a Brown Friday one year, but it had to do with, was it trees?
We had our old house had a bunch of trees, and apparently they had infiltrated this is the main drain line, and it backed up everything. And we were like, for a couple of days until we could get a plumber out there, kind of stuck. And so it was a mess.
And that happened at Thanksgiving?
At Brown
Close
Friday?
to Thanksgiving, yeah. And it
Oh.
was, yeah. So we made sure to, there's some stuff you can put down the drain that keeps the roots away. It eats the roots as they come through. So, yeah.
Doesn't that lead to fallen trees?
No, they keep the roots. They just don't
Okay.
extend the roots so far that it messes up your pipes.
Okay. All right. Little nervous.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I saw this and I went, oh, I'm so thankful because a Stanley Cup is so coveted by so many. I mean, when you have the Hurricane hockey team in town and the coveted Stanley Cup, don't know if you heard, but a Stanley Cup survived a car fire. Now, if you don't know what a Stanley Cup is, Liz is looking at me like,
What?
that's not a Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup is the coveted trophy of the championship of the hockey. But I understand it was not that kind of Stanley Cup that survived a car fire.
No, it was not. It was Danielle's personal Stanley Cup, which is like this Yeti type. I think it's what is it, Ozark or Arctic kind of cup. So it's one of those that can keep your drink cold for like, I don't know, 7 days. So she had it in her vehicle. The car, there was an accident, there was a fire. The only thing that made it out of that vehicle after that accident was the Stanley Cup. And it still had ice in it.
And completely intact, right?
Yes.
I mean, the paint wasn't burnt off or anything.
No.
It was like there was no fire that was surrounded by this Stanley Cup. Amazing. I have a knockoff version of the Stanley Cup. It's like 40 ounces. I love it because that's exclusively what I drink my water out of.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love these type cups. You don't have to pay the price. I think a Stanley Cup is like $50 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I was gifted one and I love it. So here's the thing with Danielle. So her car was a total loss. The Stanley Cup people reached out to her and said, we're going to send you a couple more Stanley Cups, but this is probably the only time we're ever going to do this, but we're also going to replace your car.
No, I did not know that part.
Yes,
Really?
they're going to give her a brand new car.
Really? Mercedes?
I don't know. It could be, a little, I don't know, smart car. Who knows?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So birthday cakes, wedding cakes, the price has gone up like unbelievably a lot this year or the last couple of years. There's a lady named Chrissy. All she was trying to do was get a birthday cake for the little baby in her family that was turning a year old, and she was kind of going over the top. So she ordered this forest, like fairy themed kind of a cake. It looks like it's 3 tiers. The bottom is supposed to look like a tree stump, and then it's supposed to have a fairy house on top of that, and then another little thing on top. So she orders it. She's so excited. She goes to pick it up. She pays $200 for this cake, and she gets it the fondant that is covering the cake that's supposed to make it look so beautiful. It's fondant or fondant. You can call it either one. So it starts to rip, like it's ripping. So it's supposed to look like a tree trunk on the bottom with like buttercream icing. It just looks like somebody shoved some icing on the bottom. Like it's awful. And so she goes on TikTok and she makes this whole thing about, I just paid $200. She called the bakery and she said, look, I'm not happy with this at all. And all the baker could say was, well, I tried. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, well, evidently it was.
It was, but
Are we talking Pinterest fail-worthy, bad-looking cake?
yes, but typically a Pinterest fail is like from somebody like me who's a home baker who has delusions of grandeur that I'm going to make this incredible cake and then it's a fail. This is an actual like baker. This is a cake decorator. This is somebody who this is their job.
So what'd they do? They give them a discount off?
I don't think they gave them any money back from what I could tell. I haven't seen the end of the story, like if they're still in negotiations or whatever.
Negotiations.
But it was rough. The baby didn't know, but everybody else did.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
AAA says this is going to be the busiest ever on the books, on the road and in the air.
Wow. So evidently on the roads, if you're going to be traveling by car, a lot of cars going to be with you. 49 million people will be driving.
Yeah. Now, granted, it's going to be spread out between yesterday and through to Sunday, which Sunday, I traveled on a Sunday back from Thanksgiving from Florida one year. It was horrendous. A 9-hour drive turned into 15 hours.
No.
And we're stuck on the interstate. It took forever and a day. It was just horrific. And now to hear that this is going to be a busier time than that, wow.
Yeah, well, they're saying if you really want like the lightest traffic of the entire week, travel on Thanksgiving. So if you can get there in an hour or two, yeah, I would say to do that. But a 9-hour drive, you don't want to do that on Thanksgiving.
No. Well, you got to get up really early if you're going to make like Thanksgiving at 1 o'clock. I don't know what time you eat Thanksgiving. Some people do it like 1, 2 in the afternoon or in the evening, something like that. We do it earlier in the day.
We do too.
Yeah, so it's like more of a lunch than it is a dinner.
Right.
Something like that. But to know that many people are traveling this year, I mean, people just want to get somewhere.
Right, but that's just on the roads, and then you add 30 million people that are going to be in the skies. That's a lot of people going to find some turkey.
Hey, now here's the thing. I understand how they can guesstimate in the air because of sales of tickets, right? How in the world are you guessing that many people are going to be driving?
They're counting the oil changes.
What?
I'm just saying.
The oil changes?
And the cars. You get your car service before you go on a trip.
Up? Liz made that up.
Yeah, I did.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
These two are now doing an Airbnb on Thanksgiving. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. You may remember this because it's in the news every year for the past, now going on 8 years, where this one grandma sent out a text. It went to the wrong number. Jamal, who's 17 years old, responded, and lo and behold, he went over for Thanksgiving, has been doing Thanksgiving for the past 8 years. He was 17. He's now 24. So here's what they're doing this year. They're doing an Airbnb. So for $16 for the evening, somebody can join them to spend the night, wake up, and have Thanksgiving with Wanda and Jamal.
I think it's so cool. And just how it all came about. Netflix is working on a movie about this
Really?
relationship. Yes.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because she was texting like a nephew or a grandson or something and ended up getting Jamal. So fast forward, he was 17 then. He now has a family of his own. For 8 years, they have been celebrating Thanksgiving together, just bringing two strangers together and all the love their families are now sharing. It's just really cool.
And I like the twist that they're doing this year to make it just a little different, because now one room in her house, Wanda's house, is open for somebody to spend the night, and they're going to do it for $16 and a Thanksgiving meal, so that somebody can also have a Thanksgiving with these two and Jamal's family.
Yeah, and what I feel like, just knowing how Wanda is, I mean, she's opening up her home to anybody who answers her text. I bet whoever answers the Airbnb, you're going to be at Wanda's Thanksgiving for years to come.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I feel you. Now, if you're like the host for Thanksgiving, I'm feeling you. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. So Scott's going away for Thanksgiving, right? Florida, right?
Yeah, my in-laws are down there, so we're heading down there for a little trip to the Jacksonville area.
Oh, that's a beautiful area. You know, my sons-in-laws live in Jacksonville. Maybe they're across the street from each other. I don't know.
Hey.
And then Liz is not hosting this year. She's going to in-laws.
Yeah, I'm going to in-laws. I have my mom coming in because she's going to go to the in-laws with me. So I was cleaning the baseboards last night. Like, you still got to get ready. It's your mama.
I don't know this, and I won't be able to hear Jake, but Jake, who's one of our producers, he just had a Friendsgiving, but for his Thanksgiving, is it Grandma's house?
I think so. Yes, he said yes.
Yes, and then Ninja's going somewhere. So I feel like I'm the only one that's hosting a Thanksgiving, and the pressure's on.
Were you doing the baseboards?
What?
Were you cleaning the baseboards?
Why?
For company.
It's
that
family.
Extra level of
It's family. So my wife's in Florida with family, helping to take care of grandkids because my oldest son had surgery on his foot. And so she's having Thanksgiving down there. And so I'm the host.
Right.
And I'm not used to this because I burn toast. I mean, I ordered in. So there's certain things that are coming. And then I think Amanda, my daughter's bringing pies and some other things. Spencer's bringing something. I don't know what it is. Maybe I better figure this out.
Thanksgiving surprise. Yeah.
Thanksgiving surprise. The surprise might be, Dad, you didn't ask me to bring anything.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Very curious on what you're up to for Thanksgiving through the open mic, which is on the My HISRadio app. Would love to hear from you. You can text as well at 800-447-7234. For instance, Liz, here's the thing. Liz is like the hostess with the mostest. She is like, I mean, you're party planner. You have hospitality all over you.
I like to do it. I love to throw a party.
And here's the thing. I've never heard anybody do this because usually the host does the turkey, right?
Right?
Liz is bringing the turkey.
I am. Well, I'm going to the in-laws' house, and it's just I'm doing the turkey. It just makes things easier on them. They are doing the mac and cheese, so yes.
You're out the mac and cheese, but what about the green bean casserole? That's a
Ugh,
big deal. She's not a fan.
no, hopefully nobody's bringing that.
Here's an open mic that came through on the My His Radio app.
My birthday falls on Thanksgiving, but this year it won't be. It'll be the Monday after Thanksgiving, so I'll be able to celebrate the Cyber Monday, and I also will be turning 40 this year. So, woohoo! I'll be a generation, yeah.
Okay, the cutest ever.
Right?
And happy 40th.
Absolutely. My favorite is yeah.
Come on now. Okay, so you're on his radio, 800-447-7234. You feeling ready for Thanksgiving?
Yes! We already planned out what we're going to do. My dad, he's going to take 2 days off, and so that we can stay home with him and we're going to play games and stuff. So this is going to be a special 2 days.
That's so cool. You got a great dad. Well, tell your whole family happy Thanksgiving for me.
Thank you. You too.
We're getting quite a few texts on what's going on for Thanksgiving at 800-447-7234.
Yeah, Kristen texted, said she has a 55-mile commute one way to work every day, but her boss for tomorrow is going to let her work remotely. She said, I am so thankful for my boss that allows me to do that. I mean, not to have a 110 round-trip mile commute. Yes.
That is so good. I love that she's able to do that. Jen's really spoke to me. It gives me some hope because Jen and I have something in common. And this is what Jen said in her text. My mom and I were estranged for 3 years. We now have a great relationship. She's coming over. God's so good. And Mom's coming over for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love that.
So good.
Absolutely
That gives me
love
some
that.
hope because I have not had a relationship with my mother since she's kicked me out of the house when I was 16. So we're talking well over 37 years.
What I love about that is there's always hope. There's always hope that those relationships are going to be reconciled. And, Jen is living proof of that. Jen and her mom got past what they were going through, and it's awesome.